Hello, everybody. I'm GM Brian.
I'm Demon Osiris.
I'm Dullhis.
I'm Lucia.
And this is totally messed up what just happened, Bill.
Yeah.
Yeah, so last time we had, well, first off, a crazy adventure on a staircase that led to one man touching another man in a way that he probably didn't want, getting kicked in the face, followed by
I'm kind of confused as to why I got kicked in the face. I've grabbed men before. They did not kick me.
And immediately followed by a interesting challenge slash, I guess we'll call it a test. I'm not sure what to call this quite yet. But the point is that it was something that I guess nobody could have seen coming. I mean, unless you could have read the sign at the top of the stairs or something. But anyway, the point is that that you guys went down and battled a very powerful demon and a very powerful light user. And now you guys have uncovered a grave secret about one of your companions that have been traveling with you. Osiris, it appears, has a little bit of demon in him. And with that being said, you guys have been, Osiris has been fully healed up, and you guys are now going to take it up from where we left off. The two had just disappeared after having a little interaction. I don't know if you guys remember that little bit that they said to each other, but effectively they had acknowledged your decisions in a good way, saying basically like you had passed. So, all right, go ahead and pick it up from where you left off.
Osiris kind of looks sheepish right now.
I'm assuming the vampire's still not doing shit, right?
Correct. He's just sitting there, not moving, not blinking, nothing.
Okay. Lucia is obviously going to know that they meant this as a test after that, right?
They basically acknowledge.
I mean, they pretty
more
much,
or less.
Yeah. Okay. So, she is going to turn to Osiris. She's a little bit angry still. But it's been like what, 3-4 months?
Yep.
Yeah.
And like no separation in that time, right?
No, not really.
Okay. So she's going to look at Osiris. She's still angry, and it shows on her face. And she says, I just want you to know I don't give a shit if you have demon in you. You're still my friend. And
Osiris has as long as he can tell that she's being honest, a really massive look of relief on his face. But he's still quick to be like, well, I'm not full demon. It's sort of a confusing, and I don't even know the whole story. I was told I had my mother growing up for a while before she was killed, and she was human. And she told me my dad was a demon, and it's this whole thing. I try not to be that.
I don't give a shit.
Okay. And he just kind of like he still is very nervous and on edge now that it's out in the open, and kind of looking at both of them, looking at Dullhis and Lucia.
Is this a common thing?
She is.
Whoa, you son of a bitch. Well done. Dude, you've nailed this fucking character. I'm impressed. No, that's great.
Osiris turns
Lucia bursts into laughter.
Osiris turns smiling and goes, "No, buddy, it's really not."
I like the idea of that. That's great. The whole party is in like this like relief, like crying laughter. I think that's awesome.
So,
oh my God.
We have this legend of a demon twins. I think their name was Sam and Dean in my village.
But I hate you so much.
But they were good. They fought other demons. Is this like you?
No, I was more told of a tale of I was gonna do a joke about Halo Demon. They called Chief Demon, but I don't have anything on that one. So
just as he tried to make a joke, the glint of the ruby catches the group's eye.
Is that a sign?
I'm going to destroy that fucking thing.
I've never fought alongside a demon before. Shall we? Half demon, whatever you are.
Yeah, I prefer to go by half demon. I'm still human still.
So your name is Osiris. Do you have another name?
No, it's the only one I go by.
Okay. Interesting. What do we do next? There's obviously a force field.
So with that, as if almost on cue,
shit.
The force field in front of the ruby, not in front of the vampire, but in front of the ruby, drops.
So at this point, I think Osiris is going to, now that the cat's out of the bag or the demon's out of hell, he's going to recite what was said above the door, the stairwell before we walked in. And so he's going to go, I'm going to confess, I read that information above the stairs. It said, all that enter here are judged by light and dark, and those will receive the stone who pass the test. That makes sense to anybody?
Well, guess it's mine.
I say dibs and start running.
Oh, God.
So all of you are basically. I'm
not
going to
fucking
assume
touching
all
that
of
thing.
you.
I'll go
Hold
with
on,
them.
I'm gonna
I'll
move
go
you
with
back.
them, but I am.
I'm just going
hanging
to assume
back.
that you
I'm not
guys.
going to grab it.
No. You
I
two, I'm going to
would.
say, are right here at this point. Okay. Real quick before you go to grab it, I want both of you who are in the front. So this is Lucia and Dalhis to please roll a perception check for me.
Dalhis rolls a 3.
Okay.
Lucy also rolls a 3.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
As you reach for the gem, you hear boom, and you look up and see the vampire still seated has hit his fist against the force field and jarred you all, stopping you in your tracks.
Oh,
I would like Osiris to please roll a perception check.
okay. And I'm human right now, right? Okay.
Yes. A 5.
Osiris rolls a 5. That's with
Osiris-
a plus 3.
Osiris is so transfixed on the vampire at this point, he is unable to even notice his own 2 feet that he's been standing on. But the group is in pure shock at the moment. What do you do?
I don't know. I'm kind of in shock right now.
Well, okay, let's do this. We'll do it in order of who arrived first. So we'll go Dalhis, Lucia, then Osiris again, kind of in a cycle. Just if you guys want to make any statements or decisions.
So
I'm so sorry. I missed like the last second after Osiris rolled his perception check.
Yeah, you guys are in stunned shock right now
Okay.
after being jarred, and so I'm having it go in order of who arrived first. So it's Dalhis, you, and then back
Got
to
it.
Osiris for what you're going to do at the moment right now. You're all in shock.
So he just basically slammed his fist on
Yeah,
those.
he's still seated and hit his fist against the force field.
But the force field is still gone from the ruby.
From the ruby, yes.
I
Shit.
still slowly start to reach my hand out to the ruby.
Boom! He hits his fist again, but this time, once he has all your attention, he points downward. Lucia,
Like straight down, or
yep, like kind of at an angle toward the ruby. Lucia, I would like you to please roll
Roll what?
a perception check again.
Okay. I totally rolled the wrong one last time, by the way. I rolled a performance on accident.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah. It's okay.
Oops. It's okay.
Perception.
Yeah. It's a
I
7.
got a 7.
Okay. So this time, when you're standing in front of the ruby, you notice that there's a giant ass sign attached to it in front of it. Once again, written in demonic writing.
Do I recognize it as the same exact writing? Like, even though I
Same
can't actually
styling,
read
yes.
it.
Yes, you do. You recognize it is identical to the one
so
that's
I
at the
know
top
it
of the
technically
stairs.
says the same thing.
No. You recognize that it is demonic writing. It is not
Okay,
the
it's
same.
not an identical. Okay, all right,
No,
that's what I
no.
wanted to verify.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lucia kind of looks at the vampire and she's like, "Wow, you're finally doing something," and then turns to Osiris and says, "What does that say?"
Okay. Would Osiris like to read it out loud to the group?
yes, Osiris would probably. Well, can I read it first and then to make sure it's not like some kind of incantation?
He reads it out loud to the group. All right. So it says, Take the gem and this throne for eternity, and thy power be yours. Control this land and her monsters, even the sky itself. But become one with the power, and you shall be above all, but never stand again. I don't have it typed out, but I can type. I can type it out for you now. So, if you'd like me to read it to you again,
No, just you can type it out.
okay. So you guys can go ahead and discuss this as I type it out for you.
So is Dalhis going to stop reaching for it, or does he need to be told to stop reaching for it?
Yeah. If he's already reaching out for it, I'm going to, at least after reading that, because I would mentally read it kind of faster than
Right.
obviously than I'd be speaking it out. Unless if you want me to make an intelligence check to kind of connect some dots, Brian, my thought process is if he picks this up, either Dalhis is going to have to take this guy's place and sit in this throne forever, or something else shitty is going to happen. So I would be like, no, just
Yep. Okay.
and tell him to stop.
Mm-hmm.
In common, I would yell stop.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I would stop at that point and say, what exactly do you think that means?
Yeah, I would try and explain probably that I think that whoever picks this gem up or whoever touches it or interacts with it, you're going to have to sit on this throne for all of eternity until someone else comes and touches this thing or takes your place.
Lucia looks at the both of them and says, I still want to fucking destroy it.
But how do you become one with the power and go be above it all? That's what I don't understand. Do you have to prove yourself worthy?
I don't know. We already passed one test, or at least Lucia did.
I was going to say, excuse me.
Hey, I was the question. You got the right answer.
Don't make me regret this. I have healing magic.
Fuck. Take the gem and this stone throne for eternity. It looks like if we take it, I don't know how we become one with this power, if that's a third option. It looks like there's two options. Take the gem, and you are in the throne. Control this land and our monsters, even the sky itself, but become one with the power, and you shall be above them all and never stand again. That guy looks like he's not standing again.
Despite my Lord Apollo also being the god of prophecies, I don't much care for them. And I still want to destroy this stone.
It is written in demonic.
Why don't you roll a persuasion then, Michelle, to see if you can convince everyone else to destroy it.
15.
That's a pretty good roll. That's a pretty good roll. Why don't you guys roll against that just to see?
What are I rolling?
Would that be just a wisdom saving throw, maybe?
Yeah, wisdom.
Wisdom or wisdom saving?
I would say
Probably just be wisdom.
wisdom, I was going to say.
Well, but I didn't beat it.
Okay.
Dalhis rolls a 13.
Both of you think that what she's saying makes a lot of sense instead of taking it to destroy it.
Also, wait, taking it to destroy it or just destroying it?
No. She said just destroy it, right? Is that I understood that correct, right, Lucia?
Correct. Yeah, Lucia's not touching this damn thing.
Okay.
Right.
Would Osiris be able to intelligently put together? I do have a 14 for my 14 for my intelligence to maybe say, hey, if we destroy this, we might want to prep just in case this guy gets out. He looks like he's trapped right now, but we destroy this thing, he might be out and we might have something to deal with.
I do not fear the undead.
Okay. Her persuasion comes back in. I just throwing it out there.
She persuades me so much, I take out the vial and just chunk it at the ruby.
Oh, God.
I'm sorry. What? What did you
Osiris
just
is
do?
running behind this thing here. He's fucking
I
running.
take the holy water vial and just chunk it at the
Not
ruby.
only for what might happen, but there might be holy water flecks coming off of this thing.
Did you throw her standard holy water or like the special
I think he
one?
means the special one. I hope to God
What
he
did you mean?
doesn't,
I need to know specifically. Are you throwing standard holy water or are you going to throw the special one? I need to
The
know.
only one he had was the special one.
The only one I had was a special one.
No, he had regular holy water because I gave out regular holy water, didn't I? I'm pretty sure I did.
Oh yeah.
He did.
Yeah, I did. I gave everybody holy water.
If that's the case, I would have grabbed the standard one. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, everyone got holy water
one
at the beginning.
Yeah.
I offered it to you.
You
and
probably
gave it to
discreetly
yeah.
didn't take
No, I
yours.
gave it to
I have
Hell.
to.
Oh, that's
fine.
right, because you were like, "Don't take
Yeah.
my
You can
stuff."
take my stuff. I don't want it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You were
Yeah.
looking
So,
all lazy, like, "Oh, I
you-
don't want to get up."
You huck the holy water at it, and the gem immediately begins to dissolve, and it melts into a reddish pink puddle on the pedestal. Immediately, as you do, in the same way that the gem had melted, the force field melts away,
Did Osiris still run?
revealing.
Or did I not really?
Revealing. No. It's okay. If you wanted to run here,
Oh,
you
if
can
I
run
saw
here.
him chucking holy water, I'm getting the fuck out of there.
Yep, that's fine. It's the force field melts away, and the vampire falls out of his chair onto the ground, face forward.
Well, that was anticlimactic.
He breathes a sigh and looks up at the group. You can tell that the vampire that was sitting in the chair before you, who was that of a younger man who had long dark hair and a small goatee, is rapidly aging. He doesn't look well at all. What have you done? You were supposed to take my place.
I don't want your fucking place.
You looked like you were stopping
But
me.
no, I was stopping you to make sure you knew what you were doing before you took it. An eternity on this throne may seem appealing in your youth, but I've been here for over 100 years. Do you not know what you've done?
Are you McGregor?
He immediately.
Do you actually say McGregor? I just want to clarify.
Of course I do.
Okay.
Gregor. I'm Gregor, yes. I came to these lands finding a way to seal the wolves so that way the world would be free of them, and I did in the gem. I had to take it. I had to become one of them, but I was able to hold back the night and thus lock them here. It was the only way. Eternal twilight, never again to let the moon rise over them. And now they'll be free to roam the land. How many are there? 50 like they were before? He's in a panic at this point as he rapidly ages.
If that's
Thinking
an actual question, then
Yeah, he's asking you.
I'm gonna pop around from a corner if I can hear him be like, "We didn't see any wolves."
You didn't see wolves? No, of course you didn't. They would be in their man form. But there should have only built one settlement, and the land here is too small. There should be a few of them by now. I left them at 50, I think.
Uh-oh.
What have you done? He realizes now, looking at his hands, how rapidly he's aging, and at this point, he knows he doesn't have too much longer left in this world. I'm going to die, but my life's work was to seal away evil and those wolves. I knew when I came here, I passed the test by knowing that good can't exist without evil, but those wolves, they take more than they give. You must stop them. Is there any way you can stop them? Please tell me.
I have a silver knife.
A single silver knife will never do.
We all have silver knives.
Can Osiris make an intelligence check about putting the holy water into the never-ending river and then destroying the bridge to keep them landlocked?
Not yet. 1 second.
Okay.
It's saying, if only I had my tools. I left them at that church. I had one weapon left that could have stopped them. At this point now, you can make an intelligence check to draw a connection.
I'm nudging Dalhis.
Oh, you mean this?
Yes. But you can kill them. You can kill them or you can seal them. I left a contingency plan in case I ever had this fate. You can either poison their water, their drinking water, or seal them with the river. and he dies right then and there in front of you guys. Now, you turn around to notice the door that was sealed up before has now reappeared. And the hallway that seemed to be an endless staircase of dark is literally 2 steps that lead back up into that living room area.
Oh, really wanted to know what happened to the pumpkins. Did he have to die so soon? Well,
hey, so do we? Okay, we gotta figure out what we're doing here, because if the night's coming and it was twilight and he's talking about the moon, that bitch is probably gonna be up soon. And I had a really funny feeling about what did we get his name was? Did I ever get his name? Whatever. Victor. The only fucking well-dressed guy, Victor. I got a really funny feeling about him when we were leaving. I don't know. Maybe it's one of my little evil senses. I have no idea. But we got to figure out what to do. I vote trap him in.
I think you're right. Because he said there was 50 wolves and that dude had what? 50 guards?
Yeah,
but you remember the town you left
there
was over 200. When he initially trapped them, there was about 50. And say now there's well over 200. I'd say in that town.
Yeah,
we're bred.
We're gonna. I would say we just avoid the town, make a little sprint around it from this tower, and go down to that bridge. Go across.
It's like a 3-day run.
Can Lucia really quickly investigate the weapon to discern how it would work?
Sure. Upon looking at it, it is a small vial of holy water that just needs to be added in to, like, it's a couple drops.
So now
it's a very small amount.
2 vials of holy water, basically.
Well, no, you have like 2 standard vials of holy water, and then you have the one super special one.
Yeah, I have one, and you have one, and I have the super special vial.
But the super special
you
one
already had the special vial.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm saying the other weapon, though, wasn't there? Or am I misremembering?
We did get we got not an it wasn't armor. We got the
I thought there
water.
Was something else.
We got the holy.
We got holy symbol.
You got holy symbols. You got
water,
knives. You got that stuff. Yeah. But the one thing that's special, like that's legit special, is the holy water that can turn other water into holy water.
Okay. All right. I guess I thought there was something else. Okay. All right. Okay. So. I'm going to go with Osiris on this one.
Yeah, we're not making it out alive if we try and go into that town center with 200 of them. We have to, if some of them get out, dude, some of them get out, but we have to try and keep as many as possible in this area and just head out as fast as possible to that. Follow the map. We're heading right to the,
but we have to pass the town.
We can go.
You gotta go. You can go around it.
We can go
theoretically,
around it.
But
oh yeah.
Okay. I vote go around it.
We are very near the water right now, though, right?
No, you are in the. You're more or less in the dead center of everything. So remember the pathing on it is.
Can you bring us to the map real quick?
Yeah, no problem. The pathing on it is that it took you from the time you crossed the rickety bridge.
3/4 of a day and then a quarter.
Yep. So basically, it would take you a full day to get to the bridge.
But we're still close to the water.
Could we run the opposite way?
You're technically in the dead middle, so realistically,
it would take us a day to get to the water, no matter what.
No matter which way you go, right? That's
so
what I meant. That's what I'm trying to say. Yes,
I didn't know if it would be faster to like run over, put the holy water in, and then go
and
for
remember
the bridge.
The river's pretty wide, so you don't want to try to swim it if you don't have to, because it's a little rough.
Yeah, let's get across, and if we have to make do with somehow trying to find an alternate way over the river,
Lucia
we do.
Turns to Osiris. Can you hold a silver knife?
I'd rather not. I can if I have to, though.
Dalhish, you're dual wielding silver knives.
Roger that.
Okay, so as you guys are discussing this, I'm imagining you're walking toward the exit.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yep. As you exit, you realize that it is in fact daybreak. The sun has just come up. It didn't go from twilight to night. The actual time has synced back up with reality, and it is now early in the morning. So you have approximately 1 day to get to the bridge. Are you going to head straight to the bridge, or are you going to try to go to the town and poison them? What are you going to do?
Absolutely go to the bridge.
I want to go to the town.
Of course
Okay.
you do.
Can we try and do a dual persuasion to try and get Dallas on our side?
Yes, I would love
would
that.
this would be one person, or do we both roll it?
No, it's the two of you against him, so I want you both to roll.
Osiris rolls an 18.
I got a 6.
So
Dallas rolls a 7.
So thankfully, Osiris was able to convince Dalhis, even though Lucia didn't give a very good counter argument to Dalhis's. Osiris had a voice of reason that was very persuasive. Let's put it that way. As you're walking out, you make it to the town, and you make it around the town, I should say, and you're going around the outskirts, and it's eating up a little bit more time than you'd like. So, of course, you're going, meaning that you're probably not going to make it to the bridge by, before nightfall. You're going to probably hit it right at nightfall. As you keep going, you find yourself in the pumpkin fields. As the day goes on, it feels like you're racing this very sun itself.
Can I kick a pumpkin on the way just for the hell of it?
Yes, you can.
Thank you.
And you kick pumpkin, and it cracks open. But this random pumpkin you kicked open has a funny smell to it. You can stop to investigate, or you can just keep running.
I mean, I know what's going on, but I don't know if Osiris does. I mean, he does have a 14 intelligence, but I mean, he's thinking, like, the thinking for me is the shit's rotted. Everything kind of rotted really fast from the inside. So I would probably, if he thinks that, he's not going to even mention it to people. He's just going to they're going to keep fucking going, marching, running, whatever they're doing. Or at least he would.
As you get to the very bridge itself, night has fallen, and waiting for you at the bridge is our good friend, Victor. The moon hasn't come up over the horizon yet, and as he approaches you, says, I see you have broken the curse. Oh, you're the heroes of the town. Please, let me take you back and we can celebrate together.
Over my dead body.
I was about to say okay.
Well, your very rude little friend here aside, you don't want to come back with me? It could be a good time.
I try to get a wink off to Lucia.
Okay. All right. I'm going to let you roll for that to see if he notices or if you're able to pull this off, easily.
Stealth?
Yes.
Or something?
You know what? I'll give you a stealth. Why not?
Let's roll a 7.
Okay, so you do the obvious, like, the obvious wink, and he definitely sees it, and he's like, the hell was that?
I got something in my eye.
Bluff
All
check.
right. So I think some pumpkin seed.
Speaking of pumpkin, he reaches behind his back and produces a pumpkin pie. Hot one. I understand that you have been after these from the get-go. What do you say we have a big old slice of pumpkin pie together?
Can I actually make a perception check to see if there's people around or hiding in the woods around us? I'm assuming we're near trees-ish.
Or the pumpkins. Are we still in the pumpkin
I
patch?
forgot. It's pumpkin field, isn't
Pumpkins, yeah, it's very open. There's no one around. It's literally just this man and it's the bridge, this man, and you guys.
So I slowly start. I have a smile on my face. I walk up to him and act like I'm going to take the pumpkin. But of course, in one of my hands, I have a knife.
Okay.
That happens to be silver.
Okay. And you're going to try to
get close to him and stab him, like right in the kidneys.
Before the stab goes off, if he's walking towards, I'm gonna look over to Lucia and say, heal him.
Okay. I'll even give you that he gained a little bit of health back during his adventure. So
Yeah, I didn't actually say it, but I probably would have.
Not talking about Dalhis. I'm trying to see if
Oh, I see. Okay. All right.
she will be able to hurt him with a healing.
But yeah,
to see if
also
we can
side
figure
note, I totally would have healed Dalhis before we left the tower, so
yeah, I would say it's fine.
just okay.
What would you have rolled?
Yeah.
Hold on, let me.
You know what,
find the
Bert?
spell.
Don't worry about it. It's been a full day. I'm going to say that while you guys were running, between her healing you and the running and all that stuff, that you got healed up. I'm going to just let it go.
Yeah, I mean it would have been a minimum of 5, so
Yeah,
Okay.
You're fine.
and you took 8 damage.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm intelligent, so I hope that Lucia would understand what Osiris is getting at.
I'm gonna I'm gonna assume that at this point,
Roll for it.
What, you know what? Yeah, let's do that. Well, all right, Burke. I like your attitude. This guy.
Straight intelligence or intelligence save?
Intelligence.
Yeah, definitely.
20.
Yes.
Totally understands it. Okay, so Lucia is going to heal essentially.
Yes. So
Before the stab goes off.
So yeah, as Dalhis is approaching, and I hope Dalhis is approaching slowly and to hide the knife.
Of course. I'm stealthy.
So as he is doing this, Lucia like grins, and this is like the first time she's probably smiling in front of Victor. And before she does anything else, she just looks at Osiris and she says, "Don't fuck this up over the pie."
And then you're gonna cast heal.
And then yes, I'm going to cast Healing Word from a safe distance of 60 feet away.
Fair enough.
Or however far away.
It's fine. I'll say you're at 45, but that's okay. And so you're gonna cast that. Can you show me what number that is? Does it tell you what number or?
Yep, it does.
Good,
I just gotta
good.
get to it in the
I just
list.
want to see the number. 7. Interesting. So that means he is immediately struck by this and howls as loud as you could possibly imagine as he doubles over. At this moment, the moon just starts crossing over the horizon and it's creeping up. He starts to begin to turn. Dalhis, you are already close. I'm going to let you have one chance to make your move. Say, I'm going to let you get one more free shot here.
Okay. So I don't know what are the damage on those silver knives?
Treat it like a dagger, basically.
Okay, give me a second. Dagger is 1d4.
God damn it, I was muted. Yeah, daggers are D4.
Okay, so, and I have proficiency, so that's a...
Yeah, you'd have
We'll just-
+2 plus your dex bonus.
Is it...
For your AC,
are
for the-
daggers dex?
Yeah, daggers are dex. Daggers are one of the few handheld weapons that are dex.
Okay. So, how about I just roll a dexterity and we'll just add 2?
Yeah,
Because I don't have anything set
that
up.
works.
Dalhis rolls a 24
Okay, yeah,
and attempts to stab him in the
you
kidney.
definitely get you're hitting that kidney, all right.
Let's do 1.
I'm the only
and
one
then
that
I have
watches
to-
Game of Thrones here, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Damn, I have such a good joke.
1d4 plus.
It's just gonna be +2. Or what's your dex score?
I got a +3. Dalhis rolls a 5, and as he's tries to make that stab, he will also, as a kind of a bonus action, scream, "Run for the bridge!"
Having this,
Because I'm assuming because we're right there,
you
right?
are. He,
And I'm imagining like they could probably like sneak behind, like run behind me and get to the bridge.
yeah, it's because you stabbed him with the silver knife. He's doubled over at this point.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you guys.
Lucy is going to listen, but she's going to run by Dalhis to grab that vial of holy water.
Okay.
Okay.
Does my movement speed increase if I change forms?
I will give you an extra 5. Yes.
How fast can you transform though?
I don't know.
Instantaneous.
Is that to one turn?
Instantaneous.
Oh, interesting.
It's
Awesome.
You can just go like that.
Do I have a glass vial of water on me? You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to say that I have a glass vial of water nearby me. I'm going to take a drink of it, throw it to the side as it breaks. I'm going to go, playtime's over.
This guy. This guy.
I've had that in my head for like 2 weeks.
Wow.
Wanting to do that. But yeah, so regardless if I do that or not, I'm going to transform and
make a
fucking
break
take
for it.
off. Yeah.
Okay. At this point, as you all are running, I say he is full. He's pretty much fully transformed at this point, but he's not able to get up. Actually, I got to roll for double checking it. But he's having trouble getting up. Oh yeah, he didn't get up. So he is still on the ground, and he turns back to you and says, as you cross the bridge, "No matter where you run, we'll be there. We're free now."
Okay.
So he can't make an attack on me.
No, it's a you guys. I'm gonna let. It's a you guys have officially
So-
all crossed the bridge at this
Okay,
point.
so I'm gonna
Dump
be
it
like,
and light it. Dump it and
"Free
light it.
this
Dump it and light
bitch,"
it.
and I throw the holy water in and immediately set fire to the bridge.
Yes, and I'm probably cutting the ropes at the same time she's trying to light the fire.
Do me a favor.
I will be attacking the ropes with my fucking claws.
Okay, all right. So if you're all focused on cutting yes, you cut down the bridge, and the holy water goes into effect, locking in the werewolves at this point. With that being said, you hear hundreds of howls erupt from the town, angry howls that just know what had happened. You walk off into the night and continue on walking for 3 days until you arrive back in Intra. Surprisingly, though, as you arrive back in Intra, the people there are completely normal.
I want to state that I did transform back before I went
know you
inside
did.
that
I know
city.
you did.
Okay.
You're All
Just
the
strolls
people-
up like, "What's up, fuckers?"
Yeah, really. But
Where's that
What's
dark
up?
game?
yeah, no. As you go back, though, the town, everyone is completely normal. And you arrive back to the church to talk to the priest once more.
Does anyone accept my high fives as I walk in?
They're all a little shaken still, so you get a couple high fives here and there, but it's not the chipper place it was when you first got there.
Okay.
Osiris
okay.
is going to take a seat in the back of the at the back
Sure.
pew again. Right where
Lucia
he's,
mutters, "I'm surprised you can walk in here."
yeah, now my shitty attitude last time makes sense.
The priest says, "It appears that your services were not needed, children. Whatever the problem was wore off in a couple days.
Not needed.
It turns out that a couple towns over had the same issue as we did, and a few towns over after that had the same issue we did. So it was discovered by a different party, one specifically rogue elf. He was kind of nervous, but he seemed to have figured it all out, apparently. The stories of his heroism will be told in these halls for years. He discovered that it was really a plot meant to sucker fools and foolish people into going in and trying to help out a group of werewolves. But thankfully, no one was stupid enough to go all the way to that town and
You
release
shut
them.
the fuck up right now.
My children, I appreciate your valor in our time of need. So for that, this church will give you a few gold pieces. But otherwise, we appreciate your effort and better luck next time." And he hands you each 20 gold pieces.
Lucia immediately throws it on the ground and says she doesn't want their dirty gold.
The rogue is going to roll a sleight of hand.
Oh yeah, he as she throws it down, he doesn't even let it hit. He snags it out of the air and pockets it.
Just casually.
Go.
Osiris rolled a 19.
Go in peace and join us again next year for St. Gregor Day. As he smiles.
I killed St. Gregor.
As we're walking, I would like to go over to Lucia and kind of like grab her shoulder and be like, "Let's just get the fuck out of here, please."
The priest shakes his head as you walk out the door, and thus ends your journey and adventure in our separate world.
Oh man.
I attempt to
Oh,
steal
shit.
the gold from
No,
the rogue.
we're done.
I rolled a nat 20 though.
Yeah. Oh, then you
That's
steal it all. You're guys a millionaire.
Oh, that was awesome.
Holy
So-
shit, that was so much fun.
Oh, man.
I
Well,
was so close to not being a demon that entire
You were
run.
this close,
I was so
honestly.
close.
You were doing so well with all your saving throws
That
and
was-
everything else. Like,
Yeah, that was
Oh, man.
insane.
That was my entire character's motivation was I need to not turn. Like I guess just to give you guys a little bit of background on the character.
yeah, definitely. Please tell me.
A lot of his motivation is since there's a lot of he has a lot of confusion about his actual backstory, how he actually came to be, what the hell happened. Like in all honesty, he doesn't know if his mother willingly mated with this demon. Like he has no idea. She never talked about it. She never would, and she died at an early age during one of his first transformations. and he has no idea if he was responsible for that either. Like one of the early ones, he basically was like a blackout, type thing where he didn't know what was going on. Only over time has he been able to transform, keep the memories, and try and keep control. Because it's been about, I put him at like somewhere between 30 and 35. He doesn't really know. So it's been about 20 years of transformations he's been dealing with. So the reason he's a rogue is, at like the age of somewhere between 10 and 13 or 10 and 15, his mom died and he kind of lived on the street since then. So he had to turn to being a thief just to make it.
Yeah.
And he was shunned in every city he ever went to. Whenever he was anywhere, he would eventually transform, and people would, like, a couple people would see it. Nobody would believe it that he was the one that transformed, but like the people that did see it, then he would be shunned. So he's constantly been trying to find a place to kind of fit in. So, but one of the things is he is super, like, he very much does not like his demon form. And he wants to avoid it at all possible costs. Like, he doesn't even like dipping into it. Like at the very end there, for him to transform just to get across, like, it was a huge personal sacrifice. Or at least, like a mental sacrifice of like, I have to do this to make it, but I am not, like, he hates himself that he had to rely on that form to try and get out of there. Granted, looking back at it, he probably could have just sprinted as a human and made it.
Yeah, it's more fun this way. But the thing is that it was fun working with Craig on that because, for the record, this is like, like it was one of those things where this campaign was designed separately from his character, if that makes any sense. Like, it wasn't designed specifically with his character in mind. It was, I designed the campaign first, and then we had talked about the
I'm gonna
his
be
character.
honest, this whole campaign sounded like it was to give me hell.
What? No, don't say that. You didn't like it?
No, I'm not saying I didn't enjoy myself. I'm just saying, like,
it gave you a little bit of, what is it, agita?
Like, it was like literally like everything was against Lucia except for, I mean, like, and she didn't know it because she didn't know about the demon side, and that was just added to it. But it was like everything was like literally like her worst fears and things that she works against, except the one undead, which is where she could have had some power, and he was fucking useless.
Yeah.
He was the thing, like, okay, so I mean, I don't know how much say if we have enough time, but basically, I was gonna tell you guys, like, so when I was designing the campaign, like a few of the things that I did to kind of like make it work. First of all, I wanted to make a Halloween campaign. That was the dream, and more importantly, I wanted it to be kind of scary, but not like Dark Souls scary, but like Halloween scary, if that makes any sense. Like, I wanted you guys to feel like uncomfortable the whole time was the real goal. Scare might be too strong, but like uncomfortable.
You mean like when you're a little kid trick-or-treating and you're walking
so like
up to
everything
doors and there's
like,
mummies and shit.
Like you're in a cornfield and something could come out and grab you and pull you in. Like it's just stuff like that. Yeah, like so that was kind of the idea behind like but like that was the idea behind why I wanted to do that. And then like I designed the set pieces around it. But to be frank with you guys, this campaign went not completely sideways by any stretch, but like, well, no, like, there were so many things in here that I didn't plan on that you guys did and presented itself into good storytelling because of it. Like, for example, those two children with the pie at the beginning were not supposed to be there. Like there was you weren't supposed to win.
Improvise this.
I had to, which then it gave me an opportunity later to have them come back as zombies or whatever. I was like, cool. And like, going off that, like every step of the way, you guys did something wrong, essentially in a good way. like you like the people in the cornfield were supposed to be picked off like individually, like while you're walking, like you guys were walking, you turn around and then you're like, hey, wasn't there 3 guys? They're like, what? Kind of thing. And you're like, no, we're gonna be like hand in hand with these dudes. I'm like, okay, he has to take a leak now, and now he's gone. And then like but he just kept going and going. But it wasn't until these last couple of sessions you guys really dictated the campaign. And what I mean by that is the stairs situation, hilarious. Completely. That wasn't planned like at all, obviously. You guys
you
climbing
didn't plan for the stairs to be a significant portion of it.
I didn't plan on the stairs at all. They weren't even supposed to be there. But I was like, yeah, but I could tell like when I was like, oh man, that's really dark staircase. Like I could just see that. I'm like, this is a great opportunity to have a little bit of fun. So like I just made it up as we went. And like so stuff like that. And then obviously
that's awesome.
The with the gem and the fact that the guy was going to be Gregor was going to be the vampire. He was always going to be the vampire at the end, but you guys could have beat the demons, like in the light person. Like you could have won the trial by effectively beating them in combat. It just didn't happen, and it was just one of those things where and so it kind of spun into its own thing. And I was like, okay, so you were all supposed to have the healing thing, but now you had the one healing jar, and it came down to a like one person, one choice. Does this character live or die? Lucia make the call, and I was like, yeah.
No, I really like that it turned into that. Now that you're saying that wasn't planned from the get go, but
it wasn't.
I thought that was a really cool moment where it turned into a character that may have just felt super betrayed, especially against maybe her religion, what she is as a cleric. Finds out this person she's been traveling with for months. So at that point, months might not be long enough to really actually go, hey, this person's been lying. I don't know what they're trying to do. Let's kill this person. Like, and that was like such a cool little aspect.
And it's awesome because I can be stupid enough that I didn't know what the fuck to do.
And you handed it to her, and I was like, yes.
My whole thing with this too, and I had to think through this very quickly because I didn't want 15 minutes of silence because I'm sitting here like sifting through all this is, I am thinking, okay, months isn't that long, but it kind of is, but it's a constant presence, which to me means a lot more than just months where you see each other once a week or something.
Sure.
Like, that's still a lot of time in retrospect. And, regardless of the betrayal, regardless of the religion, ultimately it's not in her nature to just immediately want to kill things.
Yes.
She might even, in Elseworld version might act like she does. But her actual true nature is not
by nature, right?
Is her reaction is not gonna be to kill things.
Yeah,
and it was hard to try and convey. Like when I was down and out, and you're giving me just a couple squeaky sentences, it was hard for me to try and convey like my entire character, which is I was hoping that maybe in the months that it'd been something previous to find this out, like. He would have tried to do the good thing constantly. He would have done the good thing also for himself. Like, that's why he's a rogue and he steals. He's got that on him. But, I mean, he's not exactly like he's not the Han Solo good. Like, I would consider him probably even more, quote, righteous than like the Han Solo. Yeah. Like he's more righteous than that. And he won't just willy-nilly take from anybody, screw a bunch of people over. I guess more of like Robin Hood type. Like, he'll screw you over if he thinks you're a dick. Like, okay, you're a dick, you're out of here, and he'll stand up for the little guy type thing because, he's always felt down and out himself.
Right.
So that was like hard for me to sit there and go, I can't try and convey this is what's happened these last couple months. Do you remember this when we did this adventure and I saved the puppy?
And that's certain things that I was thinking about too. Like, one of the things I was thinking about is the stairs. Like, I mean, literally, like if his demonic side was what controlled him, he literally could have just pushed me down the stairs, but he didn't.
And you almost made that happen, actually.
So close.
So what happens is that like he has kind of the chaos.
I kind of figured that after I realized like you were having him roll so much, and then when this all happened, I was like, oh shit.
Well, yeah. The thing is, you had holy water on your hand that you literally were holding on to him with, and you were basically rolling a chaos meter. Had you rolled or had he rolled, I should say, low and transformed, like the demon isn't like directed. It's not like, oh well, that's just Osiris and he's a demon. Like he could be true chaos. Like as in he could be like, no, go to hell, push you down the stairs, kind of thing. He would do it. Like
I went through and I had to I created 2 different character sheets, as you see when I am in chat here. I'll switch back and forth. I've got 2 sheets up where like my human form is neutral good, so he will try and do the best thing possible for people, but he's not going to go completely out of his way. He's not lawful good or anything like that. He's going to do the best thing for himself. But the demon form is chaotic neutral. Like it doesn't matter good or bad. He's just going to do chaos, whatever he wants to do.
Yeah. Yeah,
so I got around like with the fight, I got around a corner because Brian was like, okay, yeah, you're basically transforming right now with that shield around you. I was like, shit. So I had to try and run around a fucking corner and hide. And luckily, since you stabbed me, otherwise it literally would have been probably the nearest person to me was getting attacked. Yeah. Like just going at people, just going hardcore
berserker mode. It would have been a disaster in that regard. But I guess like, so that was fun. Like that I got to play with that. And because technically the character archetype, like as far as like a half demon, doesn't really exist exactly, so we kind of had to make it up a little, not like completely, obviously there's a little bit to help online, but But it was just kind of fun to play
we based
with.
it off the tiefling. Tieflings are basically demon-esque. So,
Yeah.
so I basically picked a tiefling, and then we did a couple like modifications to abilities and whatnot.
Sure.
So what I like I was thinking when y'all were talking about like not touching you with the holy water and stuff, I was like, that explains why like Brian just threw in, yeah, you haven't been healed this much before. Like that was like a one line thing that as soon as he goes, you're a demon, and I was like, holy shit. That bastard knew the whole time. Obviously you knew, but I'm like, but I mean like just there were so many little tiny like breadcrumbs. Like you felt sick in the church, you did all this stuff. I was like,
and it's like I tried to put breadcrumbs throughout the whole campaign though, leading it through everything that we did, including even with the bad guys in this one, because obviously I want like the real villain, so to speak, of the story it isn't Gregor. It's not the vampire. It was Vincent. You know, it was the Victor. Sorry,
Victor,
his original name was Vincent. I'm sorry. In my head, he's still Vincent sometimes. Victor, because Victor was the one who sent out all the cursed pumpkins. He was the cloaked figure that made sure that everybody got essentially like turned and poisoned and whatever, and went crazy, and was luring people to the town, trying to bring in heroes to go fight the vampire, so that way he could get free, essentially, of that, and free his town of that. Like that was the whole point. And if you guys had like gone down different paths, you could have uncovered it a little bit earlier per se, but it was just kind of interesting because
what would have been that path? Like, how could we have figured that out a little bit further beforehand?
So there was a few ways to do it. First off, like when you guys were walking with the group there, the other people, they could have given a little bit more information. Let's say, but you guys kind of like
that idiot elf.
you guys were like kind of on edge. By the way, you did notice that he was the lone survivor hero man who figured it all out and reported back to everybody. But anyway,
fucking dick.
I know, right? What an asshole. But the point is that like they would have given you a little breadcrumbs, and then when you went to the town, there was going to be tons of opportunities for you guys to go through and investigate the town, talk to the people, and you would have found that stuff would have been a little bit fishy. Like none of the stories of the vampire would have been consistent. None of the people there would have been, super friendly, at all. And like there's like a little stuff with that. Plus, you could have used, your persuasion and intimidation and stuff to get other information out. So maybe you wouldn't have had it exactly down, but you would have had a way better idea that the guy you were dealing with was a bad guy in the town. The only person who had any inkling at this during that was Craig, and he had messaged me about it because with his his character's perception roll, and he because of his background and his demonic background or whatever. And he was able to deduce that the guy was not being totally forthcoming. And because of that, that was one of those things I was like, okay, so at least you got a little bit of that, But,
yeah, basically all it was said, it was like, yeah, you can tell something's off, but you're not sure how to, like, you can't really pinpoint it.
Right.
So I was like, well, that's not really enough for me to go on to be like, okay, I don't know what's happening, but
yeah. Yeah. And then the succubus was just a fun thing I wanted to do.
That was a ton of fun.
That was fun.
I just really wanted to see what happened.
Did we do what you expected?
Not even a little. The fact that you shot her, like here's what was going to happen. Dead serious. This was what originally was going to happen. It was going to be, she was going to lead you out of there and back to that town. And they would have been like, why did you come back? And you go, well, we brought this lady. Lady would have been gone. You would have gone back. Same situation, same skeleton man going after her. Oh my God, help me. And if she kept seducing, you guys would be in literally an endless loop of bullshit until someone saw through like the disguises and figured out what the hell was going on. So
that was one thing I was sort of jumping back just a tiny bit. One thing I was kind of not upset, but I was hoping that I would be found out as a demon and accepted by Dalhis and Lucia earlier, is that during investigation, I could have used transform and intimidation.
Oh, yeah, you could have.
So I could have transformed into a demon right in front of somebody's eyes. I've got a massive strength score, and my intimidation is, I got a +7 to intimidation when I'm a demon.
Oh, yeah.
So I would basically just choke somebody straight up, as you see, all the times in horror movies, just choked them right up and then just railed into him for intimidation. But I really didn't have a chance to do it. And because his main goal was not become a demon.
Well, and to be fair, there were so many chances that he could have became, because anytime he was injured, he has to roll to see if he changes. Anytime that he touched a holy thing, when he was on the consecrated ground, like there was so many chances, and he just always rolled really well on those. It was like, wow, of course. But yeah, anyway, I really do hope that everybody got to enjoy our Halloween campaign, because it was something that I had wanted to do, and I had obviously put a little bit of time into and all that stuff. So
no, I thought it was a lot of fun, and
That was awesome.
I mean, I don't want it to affect the main campaign too much, because it obviously wouldn't make much sense, but I do hope that there's some kind of relation.
I got you, like some sort of connection there.
Like for me, I think it helped me build the stupidity of Dalhis. Like it really did. Like because that's probably the hardest thing for me, is how to play a stupid character. It's very.
He's almost more naive than he is stupid, though.
Yeah,
like, I mean, he is stupid, obviously, but that's
kind of what I went with,
which is great. I think that's the best way to go about it.
Yeah.
And I mean, wait, he's 14 years old. He should be.
Yeah, exactly. And
darn kids.
I know it's helped me do that a lot better. So I think that campaign helped me get closer to Dalhis. And yes, he did some stuff that he wouldn't have done in the normal campaign, but like
that's the point of it. That's the point of our flashpoint, or whatever you want to call this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
Not drink. Like us making him a little bit more innocent, like stupid shit like that.
Yeah. No,
I like that. Within Lucia is a little bit more rowdy.
Yeah.
Like I kind of
like Rowdy Lucia.
I kind of liked it how it was more of like Lucia and Osiris were like the kind of buddy during this, where I was still friendly with Dalhis and whatnot, but him and I, or Lucia and I were very much like okay, we're gonna go drink and we're gonna go do this, we're gonna hang out, which is kind of funny because they're the pair beforehand that at any point she does something slightly holy around him, it's probably
Game over.
Yeah, it's probably weird.
It's just it's also it just layered the irony for me as the because I'm sitting there going, wow, the demon and the basically the priestess are like just going, we're the best drinking buddies, and I'm like, my god. yeah, it was a very fun campaign to run, and I'm glad that you guys enjoyed that, and I hope that our listeners are going to enjoy it as well, because definitely.
A lot of work went into this Halloween special.
Oh my god!
The 6-week Halloween special. Happy Halloween Eve.
Yeah, happy Halloween! Boo!